When did you realize your parents are bad at parenting? I was 9 when I realized my mom had a serious gambling problem. It started small, a few scratch-offs from the gas station, maybe some lottery numbers on Wednesdays. Mom called it her little hobby, something to look forward to after long shifts at the diner. But then things started going wrong around the house. The lights would flicker off and stay off. The water would stop running. When I asked Mom why, she'd promise it would be fixed soon. She just needed one good win to catch up. The good wins came sometimes. Mom would bounce into the house with grocery bags and a huge smile, saying today was our lucky day. We'd eat well for a week, maybe catch up on a bill or two, but the losses came more often. I learned to recognize the pattern in Mom's face when she came home empty-handed, the hollow look, the way she'd sit at the kitchen table staring at nothing. Those nights, dinner was whatever I could find in the pantry. By the time I was 11, I was essentially managing our household. I knew which bills were most urgent, which neighbors might help if things got really bad, how to stretch $5 into meals for 3 days. Mrs. Williams next door started leaving extra food on our doorstep without saying anything. Mom's hobby wasn't small anymore. She'd disappear for entire weekends, coming back with either cash or nothing at all. Sometimes she'd return with new clothes and a black eye, claiming she'd fallen or walked into a door. I stopped asking questions. The breaking point came when I was 12. I'd been sick with the flu for 3 days, running a high fever. Mom had been gone since Friday, and it was Sunday night. I was alone, scared, and too weak to even make myself soup. Mrs. Williams found me passed out on our front porch trying to get help. She took me to the hospital, stayed with me, called my school to explain my absence. When Mom finally came home Tuesday morning, she seemed surprised I'd been sick at all. "Where were you?" I asked weakly. She looked at me with glassy eyes, like she didn't quite recognize me. "I was handling some business, baby, making money for us." But there was no money. The electricity had been shut off while I was sick. That's when I understood that whatever Mom was doing on her weekends, whatever business she was handling, I wasn't part of the equation anymore. I was just something she had to deal with between her real priorities. I never knew my dad. He left when I was 2. Now it felt like I was losing my only parent too. I moved in with Mrs. Williams the following month. Mom barely noticed I was gone. The day I left, I packed everything I owned into 2 garbage bags. Mom was at the kitchen table with a fresh pack of scratch-offs, completely absorbed. I stood in the doorway for a minute, waiting to see if she'd look up, say something, maybe ask where I was going. She never lifted her head. I walked out the front door and never came back. She'd call occasionally over the years, usually asking for money, always promising she'd gotten her life together. The calls became less frequent as I got older. One day, they stopped completely. She just disappeared. That was 3 years ago. I'm 26 now with my own apartment and a steady job. Mrs. Williams has been more of a mother to me than my own ever was.